Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Affordable Flyers. Vans increases kit prices 32% and streamlines fulfillment process. YouTube plane destroyer gets Temp FAA certificate. Switchblade looks for crowdfunding. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to Airborne Affordable Flyers, our programming designed to help you get and stay in aviation as affordably as possible. Overseen by the editorial staff of the award-winning Sport Plane Resource Guide, we know well the challenges faced by today's sport flyers, and we're here to help you enjoy flying to the utmost. Let's get into today's stories. Vans increases kit prices 32% and streamlines fulfillment process. There's bad news and some not quite as bad news. Vans Aircraft is increasing most of their kit prices by approximately 32%. Online order forms will be updated with the new kit prices. Prices of individual parts and components will also be increasing, some more than 32% and others less. While these price changes are significant, Vans believes them to be necessary. In conjunction with these price changes, Vans has also instituted new policies related to how they package and sell their kits. Moving forward, Vans is standardizing kit offerings. They have reviewed what is included or not included in each kit and made a number of changes. In addition, they are implementing a no deletions policy and revising their kit deposit terms and payment schedule. The changes to the kit prices and policies apply to new orders, as well as orders that were placed before the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Vans will soon communicate with customers who had unfulfilled open orders about these changes and give them an opportunity to review all modifications to their previous order and to accept or refuse the new terms, conditions, and pricing. Those refusing this option may face some risks to their deposit and payment. More info to come. Coming up after the break, EAA cites Aeromedical happenings in recent update.
I'm currently using the Hartsfield Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartsfield's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. EAA cites Aeromedical happenings in recent update. The EAA said regarding recent pilot medical certification issues, quote, "This past week saw several significant meetings and announcements," end quote. Recent interest in the greater cultural zeitgeist has put particular focus on the handling of mental health issues, an issue the group says has been a long-term interest, though one must caution the industry as to how the FAA bungled the Bob Hoover case many years ago. The recent FAA Aerospace Medical Certification Summit saw the attendance of EAA's Advisory Council Chair and Co-Chairs Dr. Steve Leonard and Dr. John Owen. Sun and Fun 2024 goes country for 50th anniversary. Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo 2024 will sport some big names from the country scene next year, with performances on tap from Trace Atkins and special guest Sarah Evans starting off the week. Their show will kick things off on Tuesday, April 9th, starting at 6 p.m. local time, taking place on the Warbird ramp and its wide assortment of eye candy. It will start the show off on a high note, which will hopefully only get higher as the rest of the week's performers take to the skies. EAA's Aviation Adventure speaker lineup confirmed. The first bunch of 2024 speakers for the EAA Aviation Adventure Series has been published, including a range of offbeat aeronautical missions and historical happenings. The series will offer presentations throughout the winter, spring, and summer at 1900 hours Central Time. Each presentation will be held at the Aviation Museum in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Meet the four-place KitCopter, the Hummingbird. Too few aeronauts know that among the exciting offerings in kit rotorcraft is an honest-to-goodness four-place helo based on a Sikorsky design. The 110-mile-per-hour vertical aviation technology's Hummingbird tracks its lineage back to the mighty Sikorsky S-52, and nearly 400 kits are in circulation with an impressive safety record and 1,010 pounds of useful load. ANN test pilot and CEO Jim Campbell has flown the machine in past years and thought it a pretty solid platform. He's looking forward to sampling recent upgrades shortly. More info to follow. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. YouTube plane destroyer gets Temp FAA certificate. Trevor Jacob of Intentionally Crashed Taylorcraft for YouTube fame recently bragged about getting his pilot's license back on his YouTube channel. Jacob started off opaque about exactly what getting a pilot license back means, but 7 minutes in admits he, quote, passed my written and got permission from a CFI to retake my check ride, and I passed my check ride, end quote. Passing it means he holds a temporary paper license awaiting the FAA to issue his pilot license once again. In all likelihood, the FAA will simply refuse to issue the actual pilot license. Jacob's last certificate was revoked in April 2022, and by law he was entitled to reapply at least a year after that date. Passing his check ride and gaining a temp cert are all legal. Whether or not the FAA is required to accept it is a legal choice of their own. The news was met with offense by much of his audience. The handful of felonies he faced in court were eventually reduced down to the brief 6-month window in the clink thanks to a plea deal, and his comment sections are filled with confusion at the apparent leniency offered by Uncle Sam. And after these messages, Switchblade looks for crowdfunding.
If it looks good, it usually flies good. The Bristol series of aircraft is proof of that. Furthering their legacy of safety and efficiency, Bristol is proud to feature the Rotax 915 IS Turbo in the current lineup of aircraft. The 915 IS Turbo power plant offers more power than ever before in a light sport aircraft. Learn more about Bristol at www.sportflyingusa.com.
Welcome back. Switchblade looks for crowdfunding. Now that the Samson Sky Switchblade has started flying out of ground effect and started making pattern hops, it's time to look to the future of this program. Using WeFunder, Samson Sky is looking to start initial investment in the crowdfunding mode for as much as $1 million of the money that will eventually be required to take the aircraft from prototype to production vehicle, without resorting to new or non-existent certification protocols. Claiming back orders of $414 million in over 80 countries, the prototype vehicle executed its first major flight on November 5th. The basic VFR kit is expected to be available for $170,000, while an IFR version will price out at $195,000. A builder assist program will also be available for an additional $20,000. The base model Switchblade is a 3-wheel street-legal vehicle that you drive from your garage to the local airport. Once there, the wings swing out and the tail reportedly extends in under 3 minutes. The basic bird is a 2-seater side-by-side with an expected cruise speed of 160 miles per hour and a 450-mile range, and we can't wait to fly it. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.